What's up, guys? It's Will back again, and today we're here to talk about the Spider-Man No Way Home Doc Ock 1/6 scale from Hot Toys. MMS, not sure what the number is to be honest. MMS something, it's out there. It's MMS something. Guys, this has been a figure I think a lot of us have been anticipating for a long time. We got Green Goblin first, we got Doc Ock, hopefully we get Electro soon, then we get Tobey and Andrew, we get the final Tom Holland Spider-Man suit. There's so much potential for this film. It made a ton of money, like over $2 billion if I remember correctly. So yeah, Doc Ock has been a long-awaited figure from Hot Toys just because of the hype for No Way Home and also for the hype from the OG Sam Raimi trilogy, which a lot of people love. I have to go back and rewatch. I liked it pretty well at the time. I got to rewatch it again. I still like No Way Home and Spider-Verse the best out of my favorite Spider-Man films. But, who's to say when I watch this one again, I might like this one a lot. But guys, let's talk about this figure because it is a spicy one right now in the community. It is a spicy one. Doc Ock was announced yesterday by Hot Toys, or today, depending on where you're at. $360 in North America. So the usual 30-40% upcharge from Sideshow, right? That's happening. I think this is like maybe $280 in Hong Kong. So you're tacking on like another $70-80 on top of that from my recollection. So yeah, that's actually, pretty standard. $360 is actually lower than I thought it was going to be for this figure. I was thinking we were looking at somewhere around the ballpark of I thought maybe like $400 because of the tentacles. So because of the arms, I never expected them to be die cast. I'm glad they're not, to be honest, because they would be very heavy. They would weigh him down pretty strongly. They would weigh him down a lot. So I'm happy that they're not die cast because I think the fact that they're articulated, they have like a bendy wire in them, that's great. If they're die cast, that makes it all the more difficult. They're heavy, they weigh the figure down. You probably have to get a pole for each arm because of how heavy they are. They're not gonna hold up over time. So they pretty much had to be plastic. As long as they're painted metallic looking, that's what matters to me. So $360, I'm actually fine with this. We'll get into the controversial head sculpt in a little bit. But first, let's just take a look at the deluxe version. Collector's version is $330, by the way. Only difference is that you get a second set of arms with the nanotech Iron Man technology on there with the second set of arms. It's a set of 4, so you get 4 arms there, 4 more arms, which honestly, I think it's worth it, guys. If you're going to get this, I would go deluxe. For $30 more, that's less than $10 an arm. I like that. I think that's pretty good. So let's take a look at this Doc Ock. Finally, let's take a look at what he comes with before we get into this head sculpt here. Like I said, you got with the deluxe version the 4 sets of arms, right, that you can use for the nanotech arms. So you get 4 more arms. That's worth it for $30. They could have charged more for that probably. I'm probably not going to use these in all reality, and most likely scenario is probably me not using them. I'm probably just going to use the regular arms. But at the same time, they are a nice touch. And I actually heard Denobi and others talking about using them as sort of a diorama type thing. I think that'd be great. Put them outside the box if you want. Put them in the display somewhere. There's too much potential to pass on them for $30. I think they're worth it for that. Because if you try to go buy them separately later, you're going to pay more than that, most likely when it sells out. Comes with the glasses, got the outfit, the claws. So yeah, accessories are pretty minimum besides the fact that you get 8 tentacles. So I think that's worth the price of admission for this figure. So you can use some of these claws to actually, put spikes in on the top row, on the top 2 tentacles, and the other ones you can't. Let's talk about the head sculpt, guys, because this is the most controversial aspect of this figure. When you put the glasses on him, not so bad, right? It's definitely not the best Hot Toy I've ever seen by any stretch. I definitely don't think it's like a 10 by any stretch, not a long stretch. I think this is like a 7 head sculpt, probably at best. So I'm not exactly thrilled with it either. I'm disappointed with it too in this current state. I mean, the paint apps, just the sculpt, the hair, the face. I see Alfred Molina in there. I see him in there. I don't think this is close to the representation that I think we should be getting from Hot Toys just based on the quality that they set for themselves with the bar. That said, I do have faith in them to correct it. And the reason for that is because Hot Toys has a long, lengthy track record of being the best in the business when it comes to head sculpts. So if they show something like this, and there's outrage, which there is right now, it's very divided. There's half the camp that are saying they'll wait and it'll be fine. The other half of the camp saying it looks atrocious and it's a train wreck and Hot Toys should be ashamed, basically. I fall more so in the former, that I think this is going to be corrected. If it's not, I mean, if you have the luxury, if you live in the States, you have the luxury usually of not pre-ordering. I think you should exercise that right. Because if you don't, then you could get this, but I doubt you will get this because JC Hong actually already came out and said that this is not the final head sculpt. He's already put that out there. It's not the final head sculpt. It's going to be worked on. That's the same thing as So saying, yes, we're working on it. It's the same thing. you know, JC Hong has pretty much already said that it's not final. That's saying that they're working on it. They addressed it. So I'm glad that they're doing that. Yeah, should they probably have blurred it? Yeah, but the problem is, the more I thought about that, if you do that, then you can't really show the figure, because the head sculpt is such a big part of it, right? How are you going to, you know, garner pre-orders if you don't show what the head sculpt looks like? With Green Goblin, he has a helmet you can put on him, which most people are probably going to use. Let's be real. So with Doc Ock, you can't really do that, right? Because the head sculpt is such an important part of the character. So they couldn't really have that luxury. I think there was a lot of pressure. This is rushed, clearly. I think there was a lot of pressure to get this out because Spider-Man No Way Home is hot still. They want to get this stuff on pre-order as fast as they can. And then, you know, not saying it's right, but what they did was they put it out on pre-order. They want to get some pre-orders and then fix the head sculpt later because they're overwhelmed. They haven't even put out Hawkeye figures yet. Like, they're overwhelmed right now. They haven't made a Cobb Vanth. They're overwhelmed. So they're trying to get this stuff out as quickly as they can and then fix it later, which isn't exactly great, but you know, they're stretched to the limit right now, it feels like. So I have faith that they'll fix this because they have a long track record of doing it. And it doesn't necessarily have to be Iron Man to be fixed. I mean, there have been multiple examples. Like, you know, as much as I love the sequels, Rey, Rise of Skywalker, a lot of people didn't love that head sculpt. Then they mostly changed it to a much better form in the final product. Rey's not exactly a super popular character. As much as I love her, not everyone loves her. So she got fixed without really much outrage at all. So did Wasp, for that matter. Wasp is not exactly the most iconic or beloved character, and her head sculpt got fixed from the pretty bad proto to a very, very good final product. Killmonger actually got fixed as well. He was another one that people didn't quite love. He was blurred at first, and then he started to come out, and people didn't really love it. They corrected it. So yeah, and even Ahsoka now, I think they're working on Rosario Ahsoka and fixing that head sculpt. It's not perfect, but it's not terrible. But I think they're working on correcting that one too. So again, I do think there's precedence here to indicate that Hot Toys is not going to sit behind rest on their laurels and just let this subpar head sculpt stand. If they do, then yeah, that's bad, and we should call that out and just don't buy it. But I do think they've earned the benefit of the doubt. They've been the best figure company in the world for a long time. They've done right by us. They very, very rarely miss. Let's be real. Like, we can call them out when they do bad stuff, but to be completely fair about it, yeah, they don't communicate, but they usually deliver a pretty awesome product that's in a tier of its own when it comes to 6 scale collecting. It just is. They're way more consistent than anyone else. So, I think they deserve that benefit of the doubt. Yes, I agree. The head sculpt is not that great, but at the same time, it can be improved, and I think it will be improved. With that said, the outfit, I do like it. I think it's actually pretty well tailored. Some people said he looks a little too thin. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. I don't really feel that way. I think he would be fine. I don't look at Alfred Molina's body here and think that that it's too thin or anything's wrong with the outfit. I think everything basically but the head sculpt is like a 10. I think everything looks fantastic. The coat obviously has some wires in it. I think it looks great. I think this figure is going to pop on a shelf big time. I mean, put him in that pose, dude, that's going to have some presence on it. Even in this state it's in right now, I still think that this looks really good. Put the glasses on him and then you're pretty much golden. Which is kind of the case for Neo too, right? Neo didn't have a great head sculpt either. But if you put the glasses on him, yeah, that really helps. Same goes with the older Terminator figures like the MMS, what was it, 217, whatever it was, the MMS version, not the DX, not the DX13 or the DX10. But yeah, I honestly don't think this head sculpt looks too bad, but it's not good. It's definitely below where Hot Toys quality should be, but I think they will correct it. So I'm going to give them benefit of the doubt. And if they don't, maybe I won't buy it. I don't know. I'm not going to pre-order it because, like I said, there's no reason to at this point. But I agree, the head sculpt has plenty of issues. The smiling nature of it definitely looks a little bit off. It's off, no doubt about it. Yeah, no doubt. But like I said, the collector's edition versus the deluxe edition, I would say deluxe edition all the way, because like I said, you get those 4 extra tendrils. Like that's worth it to me. Like, even if I don't use them to put on him, I'm going to use them for display in some way. So I kind of like that. So I'm going to use that, and I'm going to pull up real quick. I'm going to see if I can go on Facebook real quick and find the secret base photos, because, let's see, because like the secret base photos, there they are. The lighting is pretty bad at secret base, but honestly, I feel like it's kind of one of those that looks a little bit better in person. I definitely see more of Alfred Molina there. It's not that bad. Like, it's not like a 3 or a 4 or a 5 in my opinion. And even having these extra claws, right? See, like, that's pretty cool, man. Like, that's gonna be worth the $30. You can see the lighting is very bad here. He's blown out to all hell. So, but still, I think that still looks pretty cool. So I'm very likely going to be getting this. I'm just going to wait and see the final product and see what they do. And then we'll kind of go from there, I guess. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this figure. I am definitely very intrigued because I pretty much want all the villains from No Way Home, or well, honestly, not all, the big 3. I want Doc Ock, I want Green Goblin, I want Electro. Don't really care as much about the others, to be honest. But I do care about Toby and Andrew, and I care about Tom Holland's final suit. I do care about that. Those are the other 3 that I want. So there's probably 6 figures from this film that I will pick up. So this is like the most of a line I've probably ever collected, to be honest. So I'm Infinity War, I had a decent amount of figures too. But for sure, this is definitely going to be a buy for me as long as the head sculpt comes out good, which I think it will. Like I said, they've earned that benefit of the doubt, in my opinion. If they screw it up, they screw it up. But, you know, I think, in my opinion, I think it's definitely better than Toys R Us. I've never owned that figure. I've only seen pictures and video of it. It's never impressed me personally. I don't think it looks that good. But that's just me. I don't own it. So I can only judge it based off what I see. I would, in this head sculpt's current state, I would still take this over Toys R Us. I love some third party that I have. I've told you guys that Sephiroth I have is probably my favorite figure in my collection right now. And it's third party. So I'm not anti third party. I just have, you know, high standards when it comes to these things because of what Hot Toys standard has created. They've set the bar for everyone else in 6 scale. Let's be real. They have. So, and I think, like I said, that's why on all the live streams that we do, we always talk about Hot Toys. Hot Toys are the main topic on every show. There's a reason for that, because they're the best. You know, when they're not the best, then, you know, we'll say not. But, and this is one of the cases where, you know, honestly, they're not the best in terms of, you know, a head sculpt here, but they've probably still made the best Doc Ock figure in 6 scale on the market, even with this head sculpt right now. So, and they're not even doing their best work. That should go to tell you something. That should tell you something. But nonetheless, guys, let me know what you think in the comments about this. You know, my opinion on it. I don't think it's great, but at the same time, you know, I do think it can be massively improved. And when it does get improved, which I'm counting on, then I think it's going to be an awesome, amazing figure. That's really going to pop on the shelf. I'm probably going to get this, probably going to get Goblin. Like I said, I really want Electro. I hope Electro is next, but we'll see. You probably don't even have to do that much. Just kind of give him like a Whiplash type feel and just redo, you know, give him a head sculpt. I can't imagine a Jamie Foxx head sculpt. That's going to be very valuable because of all the characters he's done. So guys, like I said, let me know in the comments below. That's pretty much a wrap for this one. You know, this will be a fun discussion, I'm sure. It's been quite the hot topic. So yeah, I'll catch you in the next video.